and welcome. Today we're gonna go and play in the Faction War. I am playing Skaven, representing the rats today. Um, and yeah, this should be fun. My first opponent is in Bretonia. This is a best of one series. Well, I'm getting a little bit of an echo. This is a best of one series, so if we lose, we're out. But we're gonna keep streaming. In that case, we'll stream whoever beat us and onwards until the semifinals. So every game supposedly will be streamed. So that's exciting. Let me load up my build. Let me just put on this for a second. And then, yeah, pre-made the builds. So we're just gonna hop right into it. And I'll be talking a little less during the games. Just these more competitive tournaments take more brain power, so I'm going to be a little quieter as I focus on the game. Okay, let's make sure that I get this party started. I just changed this, didn't I? Slight changes. Okay. Looks good. All right. Get this party started. Without further ado, been practicing a little bit this matchup, so hopefully the practice pays off. The expectation was that my opponent is going to bring Lewin and a Beastcaster. So let's see if that expectation pays off. Units that I'm like not particularly looking forward to seeing are Grail Knights and Hippogriffs. Hippogriffs a little less so than the Grail Knights, but I got plans for those as well. It's just gonna be a little trickier if he pulls those out. What we want to see is Knights of the Realm. If we see like 2 Knights of the Realm in the starting army, we'll be happy. If we see a wide range of catapults, we'll be happy. Maybe we're not as happy if we see Fae and the Green Knight. It's possible. It's just not something I can easily like account for. Should be not that bad though if we see those. I do have a little bit of magic on my roster, but it's only in the dogs. Whether or not that's going to be enough to get through the Green Knights is an open question. Bit of a long wait. A lot of time to think about our choices. Edge of the Darkwood is dark today. The weather on this map changes substantially. Maybe darker Edge of the Darkwood. Which I think Skaven like. Skaven like the dark, right? Okay.
Death device is charged. Now, ready, now. Ready, ready.
Oh, it's the wrong build. Yeah, my build didn't get saved. That's okay. Not a big deal. It's only a small difference. Just a little bit more inefficient.
Our tile's yours.
Not exactly sure how that happened either, but it is okay.
Yes, yes. Yes, in triads. Picket claw. Skaven, yes, yes. What orders? Clan rats. Ready, ready. For the Valentine! Doomflayer! It's on!
Okay, we're ready. Looks like from the amount of troops, he's gone with a wider start, which I'm not particularly worried about.
Clan rats!
All right, my opponent's ready. Let's see how this goes.
Skaven stand!
We do indeed see Lewin.
Agreed. Yes, yes.
We don't see.
Stand by. Guide us, Horned One.
Let's just preemptively get a spear out before we forget.
Now move. Good, good.
Beast casters there.
Kill contractor.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Okay.
Scuttle. Not running. Mission trial. My blades already go. Kill time. Move tail. Scamper forward. Warpstone magic. Mission trial. At once.
This was a tech that I've been working on.
Council command. Horned rat will.
Doom players make work here.
As planned. Storm demon. Now. That is bad. Trace. Quick, quick. Our tail's yours. Quick, quick.
So Lewin did manage to get away, which is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world.
Scotty, race.
A little bit of a trap was laid there.
Rick-a-rock. Very, very well.
Right.
Ready now. My plan.
Got Knights Errant. Knights Errant.
Woeful tidings. The enemy has captured one of your
Grab
victory points.
this one.
Take
Get
it
you
back.
coming over.
Council's command. Murder kill. Go. Attack. Cash in triad. Guide.
We preemptively get some of this.
Hey. Die. Die. Clan rats.
Peasant mobs.
Die. 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 Yes. 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 Attack.
Battle pilgrims. We can probably isolate some of them.
Scryer's wrath. Save.
All right. Bring you back over. You come here.
Fame.
unfortunate, not a big deal.
What orders?
You can shoot at that.
Warlock of death. Fight, fight.
Alright.
Move. Now, ready now. Scamper.
You will shoot that. We'll probably keep poking on Lewin.
For the Vermintide.
Then that's what these guys are for.
Yes, yes, yes. Not scummy, yes.
You can actually charge that. And let's just get something fast in here. Did I capture that point? I did not. That's unfortunate. That's a big oopsie.
Guide us onward. Wields the winds.
Alright. We got a lot more stuff coming in. And then this player's over here. Just needs to be here for a second. You can come in here, and actually let's just reposition you to shoot that. Dogs can chase. Alright. Warp Lightning Canyon can come here. We're doing happily in the middle. Alright, nice little round over there. Yeah, okay, we gotta respect the back pressure. Alright, you need to get back on. How are you doing on time? So, a couple unfortunate things about the timing. Let's get you over. And just get rid of that. And arms are here. Dogs can come back to the middle. Right. Okay.
Warp lightning. Faster strike. Agreed. Yes, yes. Attack. Doomflayer. Fight, fight. Freak. Murder, kill, kill.
Actually, let's come back.
Yes. Murder, kill, kill. Casting death.
Alright, you come through. Let's just flood the center. Ah, the leftovers of that came back. That's annoying. Alright, put some warp lightning down. Keep fighting here. The Doomflayers are getting very trapped up right now. Probably will put you over here. Just to get a little more mass down. Oh, Action Triads didn't come in. Alright, it should be fine for me. And I think I wait for another Doomflayer. We have a little bit more time. Not a lot.
Wicked claw. Infernal weapon. Clanrat spears. Wicked claw.
Alright, one more flare.
Doom player.
Alright.
Sharpened blade skill. Fight attack. Slay them. Wicked claw.
Let's see if I get a brass orb off. No, it's too preemptive. I got a little bit of damage.
Attack charge. Go, go.
Alright. I think I need to start playing the back.
Clan rats. Onward.
The grind is not working out so good for me. Unfortunately.
Mission trial. Wicked claw. Kill sequence.
Somehow I'm getting kind of out-tapped by... I just have the...
Yes, yes, yes.
Alright. Let's do this.
Mission trial. Wicked claw.
Is that... It's a Knight of the Brown.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's put this down below.
Warpstone magic. Not scary yet.
It's doing some back pressure now. Gotta be respectful of that.
Hasten, hurry. Creep on it. Go. Mission trial. Mission moving, going. Move, move.
Alright, I think I've... Unfortunately, I think I might have already lost this. The cheese didn't work. Some inefficiencies with my build.
Oh God.
A lot of units going in pencil formation. So a slight chance that I can still do something. It's not great. Wow, look at all these cav. We do have the center, which is nice. Just push with everything, honestly, to the middle.
Time to die. Each remains.
Problem is, like, even if I could... Oh, I have units here. Okay. Gotta make use of those. For sure. Come, please. Alright, everything's gotta come to the center now. We gotta hope. We gotta hope and pray.
Now, ready, now! Finally! For Skaven blight! Screen Ricato crack!
We're doing it slowly, but we're doing it. Alright, everybody back on the point, please. We're not gonna be able to hold both of them, that's for sure. What a valiant last attempt.
You have the foe's victory point.
Alright, everybody over here now. Yeah, it's just too much cav, and I made some mistakes at the beginning. Even still, it's close. But yeah, I wanna go and have a look at it and see what exactly happened, because something, the trap at the beginning didn't go exactly correctly. Something weird happened with Lewin managing to get away, even though he maybe was trapped. And then the Doom player that I had at the start was the wrong Doom player, which is annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. Somehow my build I changed my build before the start of the tournament, and the changes, like, either I didn't save them and I thought that I had, but it's alright. Good game to Blood Penguin. Yeah, just a little sloppy at the beginning, I think. Like, too unfocused. The triads did very well. But I let the Warp Lightning Cannon get shut down pretty early, which was a big negative, because the Fleur de Lis came back. Here, let's watch that back. Yeah, what I was saying is this one should have been the ROR, which is a bit cheaper and better, but it didn't. I didn't have it. I think the only difference was that I get Storm Demon on the Lord though, so it's not like a huge difference. But yeah, he fell for like the trap that I had. But in testing, Lewin took a lot more damage than he did in the actual game.
We have a victory point.
And I left the thing here. It should come over to block out the cav. So that was a mistake of mine too. Yeah, just like little plays, honestly. Things that I like even did in training practice, but didn't do in here. So there's the Howling Wargale. There's the Scorch for the Death Frenzy. And the Cav gets here like right away. So it's already out of the Howling Wargale. How much time does the Howling Wargale do? Well, it's a frustrating start to the tournament. It should do twice as long, but yeah, and so in my testing, the Lewin took like full damage, but you'll see that I didn't have this unit in the right place, so they should be killing the Defenders of Fleur de Lis already at the beginning. I didn't capture this point for a long time. So it was like, and in fact, this game did kind of come down to points in the end. So my barely not capturing this at the beginning ended up being a problem. And I like misallocated where I put the Night Runners.
Woeful tidings. The enemy has captured one of your victory
So
points.
he leaves
Take it
this.
back.
I leave this point before. Basically, I leave this point like I do the house cat thing. That this one comes off. Just barely. Sloppy. So yeah, there's like a couple little like sloppy things. This, and then this one not coming over. This guy not punching Lewin right away. I mean, I think that the matchup is harder for Skaven, but I was pretty confident in my plan, so I'm not even going to say that this isn't something that I could have won. And then later, the fleur-de-lis, let's just show this. The fleur-de-lis dies here. Right there. Or close to here. Like, interestingly, I like never was able to break through his front. So the Battle Pilgrims actually did a lot of damage this this game. Funny enough. I guess they don't die there. They die. Oh, I guess they die when the magic comes. All right, they die here. They run into the spears that are braced, but the warp lightning can still take some damage from that. Fleur-de-lis routes in this direction. I guess I should have put the wolf rats on the fleur-de-lis, but I just assumed that they would go off, and they don't. They like stay back here with a decent amount of models and health left, and so a short while later. And this grind just continues, like this same battle program is fighting for a long time. The men-at-arms as well. Maybe the rat ogres were not right too, because the archers can shoot them. And they're pretty low. If I just stick to the flares, but eventually he noticed, yeah, he noticed that the fleur-de-lis, and they actually just passed the dogs by like centimeters. And they kill this entire unit. So they get like, they net 900 gold from them coming back like that. Which is, you know, I should be paying attention to it, but it was like a bunch of little small mistakes like that that ended up making a difference. And you know what? I also changed in my my later build. My earlier build was here. Let's just look real quick. My earlier build. Let's see if I just saved it in the wrong name. So what I was saying was in my earlier build, I had, instead of that unit, I had the Arawar because it's cheaper. But then I think I also had more Clan Rat swords, which I actually needed in the end to clear the chaff. So, I don't know. Just sloppy, I guess. Oh, I need to view as spectator. So now we're gonna watch Scrambled Eggs game, the Vampire Coast versus Bretonia. All right, refresh list. And then we want to try and spectate. Let's see right now if let's see. Um, all right, I'm found a new game to cast instead, just so we don't have to wait. Right. Hey, Celeb. Hey, Tor. Sorry to let you down so quickly. I think yeah, it's unfortunate. I think if I had played better, I would have won. Even like everything held constant, which is always a frustrating feeling, but it happens. Still gonna enjoy watching the games. Both Reginald Pugington and Stingers were last minute additions to this tournament. Both their players that they were supposed to replace had to drop out last second. And let's see if Professor Pone is recording via Anime's game right now. Let's see if they've started. Not started yet. They're still covering the last game. Or a different game, maybe? Let's see. Outer Region is streaming Rusto versus Outer Region. So that game's going on right now on Outer Region's channel. Maverick Sloth seems to be casting via Anime's game. So Maverick Sloth, we had just watched the first couple of seconds of this. Let's see. While we're waiting for this next game to start. Um, uh, I think it's this one. Yeah, so we'll just look at this briefly. Streaming a streamer. You turn on Maverick.
Oh no. Rough start for this match.
Tim looks to be getting
I'm feeling a little
infinite value from his Way Watcher spams. It's always frustrating. Some of it's on his Azel though.
The Catholic here, we can see Tim being very sneaky, keeping the tries to hit the objective here. So that's just
I'll say a thing about this game real quick. So Via said that before the game he would be building up. This doesn't look like a build up to me. This looks like he already has stuff on the board. But he's taking a lot of damage from the Way Stalkers with their Arrows of Kurnos. Arrows of Kurnos are just such like a ridiculous ability in my opinion. It shouldn't do damage to infantry. I think if it's like it's already good enough without being damage to infantry, but the fact that it can like half health a warrior unit just makes it so strong. Now, what I would have liked to have seen from Via maybe in this game is some like Marauder spam with Exalted Demonettes. I felt like that makes sense in this matchup because oh, there goes another. All right, watch this Arrow of Kronos. Oh, that one didn't do terrible damage. But the Exalted Demonettes will trade really well into the Wildwood Rangers. They'll trade really well into Dryads. They'll trade well into everything, but it's hard to not get them shot. So there's kind of a like, can you keep them alive long enough? And to get enough volume so that you can keep them alive, you do have to do a build up. So this might prove to be not as favorable. But Tim is very confident going into this matchup, and you can kind of see why. Like the Dryads trade well into Marauders. Wildwood Rangers trade well into the regular Chaos Warriors. The Archers trade well into everything else. But I've played this matchup a number of times, granted before the Wildwood Rangers were super strong. And it used to come down to like aggression and speed, which is kind of like the Slanesh thing. If Slanesh could play super quick, then and get like a really good surround, then it would go much better for them. This is probably not the best map for build up because it's kind of got like awkward lines that you can attack in. Yeah, but I think maybe this is already just not quite enough for breaking through. But yeah, Tim really likes the Arrows of Kurnos casters, we'll call them. You'll see if okay, so again they didn't do that much. So mostly at the beginning did they do crazy damage, but Via does have the points. It's not up in points, but does currently have the points. Archers are about half ammo. Most of the Arrows of Kurnos are probably gone at this point. Azazel is still alive for now, which is nice. Azazel still is kind of problematic for Waystalkers if he can get on them. And now maybe some of the Wildwood Rangers are gone. So a little bit of like early aggression perhaps getting rewarded for Via anime. Still, it's an uphill battle. Oh, but okay. This game is starting now. Check the sound. Yeah, okay, sound is good. So Reginald Puggington on the Beastmen. Centigore, Centigore, Centigore. Cores. So pretty wide and a lot of early mobility. Flock of Doom and Enfeebling Foe. With the negative leadership item. And the plus leadership item. That's cool. You don't see both of those that often. Stingers with the High Elves. This is a relatively even-ish matchup, I think. Because there's so many spears and so many archers that the like advantage of having lots of Centigores is depleted. But we got this front line of spears, back line of Lothern Sea Guard. You don't see Lothern that much these days. Just more tech against the Centigores, not give them as many targets. And then the Illyrian Reavers. And a Phoenix. I guess the Phoenix is to chase down Malagor. And a Tempest caster. Oh, no, no Tempest. Okay, so this is the like the magic missile attack that has this quenched effect, and the quenched effect, I can't pull it up here. Oh, I guess it just adds extra damage. And then Arcane Unforgiving is like a Spirit Leech. I think it's not a cost-effective Spirit Leech. So like 50 damage times 20 seconds is like 1,000 damage for 14 winds of magic. 18 just adds cooldown. Yeah, interesting to bring the high magic and not bring the... Wow, look how aggressive this is. A Beastman player recently did this to me, actually. And it makes sense. You get on the points early, and you basically like are forcing your opponent to like take fights from the beginning in potentially an unfavorable position. The Flock of Doom right there. Boop.
We have a victory point. Keep it. Oh.
Stingers is one of my old buddies from RTK, back when I was in RTK. The Phoenix is going to be chasing Malagor this entire fight. But okay, it looks like Puggington is not willing to like fight into this without getting more of us around first, which makes sense. This one is a Gork Herd with shields, I guess to prevent the archer fire. So we actually do have a number of shields. It's an interesting tech. The regular Gork Herds are a lot better in terms of melee stats. So you can look that they have lower melee defense, but they have higher melee attack, substantially higher melee weapon strength. Wow, what did all that damage to... Oh, maybe that's the Arcane Unforgiving. We have a Minotaur with shields, so more shields. Yeah, I mean, if you're Beastman, you're fine to play this game, right? You want your opponent to kind of come forward before you engage. You don't have the greatest targets. The Chariot is a questionable pick. Sure, you'll have the opportunity to like run over some of the infantry, but then there's a lot of units here that can counter. I don't know, who has the build-up advantage here? Probably the Beastmen do have a build-up advantage, because there are range units, but they're not a lot of range units. So you don't want these few range units to get a bunch of poke. It would be nice for Puggington to get the point as he moves in. An archer unit is an interesting choice. I guess that's just to poke the skirm cat. But you can see Puckington is taking a lot of damage on his army by letting a little poke here and there. Doesn't have infinite time to just keep messing around. Maybe Stinger's going in for some melee attacks. I'm just trying to force reactions. Now it looks almost like Puckington's going in for another attack. Stingers is saving up for something. Both players are saving up. I wonder if Stingers is saving up for the Fireborn. So we have a unit of Harpies, I guess to just shut down archers. Ideally, I think what Beastmen are trying to do here is they're trying to force Stingers all the way onto the points. Because they need to... okay, just Reavers. A little charged into Unbraced Spears, but Centaur is still taking a decent amount of damage. A couple models get stuck. But yeah, so basically, they're moving forward slightly, and then getting this huge surround. And then they'll collapse. Lyrian Reaver should trade down pretty heavily into Centaurs. Now no archers are over here. All the archers are kind of in a clump here. Another archer here. And Stinger's still floating a lot of supplies. 2,000 value. I really think he's waiting to summon the Fireborn. Here's a big shock piece. Now no Centaurs are over here to deal with the chariots, though this one can come back. Looks like they're engaging here. And the Centaurs need to come around where they take too much archer fire. Oh, we have our first real engage here. Malagor is taking a lot of damage, probably from the Soul Quench, or not the Soul Quench, the other ability, the Arcane Unforgiving. Is this the Fireborn? So just a unit of Dragon Princes, so not what I was expecting. Also, notice how we're not fighting on the point. They've managed to keep them off the point, so this extra point pressure is gonna take you know, a couple minutes to resolve all of this fighting. So even if High Elves are winning this, there's gonna be a long time before they capture the point. A couple of the Centaurs dying in the front line against some of the spears and some of the Lyrian Reavers. But Puckington took a lot of damage on the way in, so it kind of looks like bit of an uphill battle to keep the value in his favor. There's the Arcane Unforgiving again. Minos are here and here, but neither of them have particularly great targets. Now, Stingers is kind of realizing that it's important to get on the points. Oh, and Malagor is about to die. High Elves are looking like they're in a pretty strong position here. Reginald Puckington trying to get his cav back in the battle. We don't know exactly what these players still have left in the pool, but it's probably things that they consider less useful. Dragon Princes are a good answer to Centaurs. They'll do a lot of damage and they have armor, so unless you have the armor piercing or the Minotaur great weapons. But this pocket over here is dying, which means that either these troops are going to be able to rotate down or they're going to come over to the point. So this is a big win for the Beastmen. Then from the High Elf side, we have kind of a resurgent force here, but again, not capturing the point. One unit of Illyrian Reavers here, one unit of Dragon Princes, but Malagor is practically dead. Malagor does tend to come back with low HP, so this doesn't necessarily mean that he won't come back at all. Bird is stuck, so this could swap which one, but he just needs... the Stingers just needs to cast one spell of Malagor to kill him. I've made that mistake in a game too. One of the Minotaurs going down, second Minotaur is still fighting. Chariot is online, and the point in the center is flipping
The enemy
before
has slain our lord.
the triple cap situation. So that's pretty important. The first Corn Gore is coming out. Makes sense. This is now a good time for it to come. I was saying that the forces here, instead of going here, they kind of came here, or even they went straight into the middle, freeing up a lot of the pressure for the points here. And now, if you haven't heard of it before, Beastmen are not a faction that like to get their... they're not a faction that like having their leadership dropped. So all of these Centaurs are starting with 45 leadership. In a short period of time, they're going to be... Yep, so it's now the penalty... The Lord penalty is reduced to -10 because the Lord is dead. It's still not easy necessarily for High Elves. So even though they've gotten the center point, Beastmen are resurgent with a lot of extra resources. For Reginald Puggington's perspective, I'm almost retreating and then preparing for a Lord Summon of Malagor. Probably still have extra WOM. You could use the extra 10 leadership on your units, and the extra spells will probably be helpful in the mid-game. We have time as Reginald Puggington. Now, Rangers are coming out. Both Rangers are a little bit hurt, which these you would think are pretty good into Corn Gores. Now, Puggington pulling back like this tells me that he's going to summon Malagor again. And as Stingers is summoning in more infantry, that makes sense, especially because some of the stuff are now inefficient at killing infantry, like the Corn Gores. Flamefire Spire Phoenix, let's see how much that value that thing has gotten. Phoenix has gotten 500. The Bird has gotten 1600. Most of that was with the Arcane Unforgiving. Feigning a push on the back, we're collapsing in the middle. But I expect to see, instead of Malagor, we have 2 more Gore Herds going for the back. I think if I'm Beastman, I'm waiting to summon, and it's fine to even get the extra infantry out and then summon, but I think you really want... I mean, think about Flock of Dooms in this blob right here. It'd be so strong. And the High Elves probably don't have that much more magic, so it's not like you have to worry again about like losing, or like you can get away with overcasting Flock of Doom. Taking a lot of time to set up the surround. Stinger's noticing that there are no Centaurs over here. It's problematic for forces a summon of the Centaurs. And now if you're still waiting for Malagor, do you bring out the Malagor now, or do you wait? I formed 2 little pockets here. Some shooting here and here, but a little bit isolated. And Stingers is applying back point pressure, so... And Puggington is choosing not to summon their his Lord again. So this is going to apply a lot of extra pressure. Stingers, I think, identifying that if he captures this back point, given the value situation, it's probably over for it would probably be over for Puggington. So hesitantly, it looks like Stingers is going to just given the state of the battlefield and the fact that there's no big turning things like WOM to change the picture, like big changes in WOM, I kind of think that that Stingers is going to win this. Puggington could technically win on a points cap, but he would have to capture one of these points very soon. Otherwise, it'll be well, I guess he could capture it at any time, but he'll lose the opportunity to just win on his triple cap. And now I think these little pockets, You know, Anticity recently has been doing things like this, pushing there and then rotating those forces there after your opponent who's less mobile forms like a box. So maybe that would have been an interesting idea from Puggington, like feign the charge and then rotate over and isolate this bit right here. Yeah, I think if you're Puggington at this point, you're sitting on your hands and you're saying, "Oh, like, I don't know what to do now." I would say it's not over. This stuff is all very tattered. Maybe this is why I would have liked the Flock of Doomcaster back early. That all these tattered units lose models very quickly. We have Malgor now, but I think it's too late. An overcasted flock coming here soon. But we're substantially down in value as Beastmen, and we're substantially like now we are down in points too. Stingers here on 3 points. I think you just release this one. Like probably your life becomes a little simpler if you just bring this back, but he has enough of a margin that it doesn't really make that big of a deal difference. So yeah, well played to Stingers. Let's see the Chariot's value. Chariot did pretty well in the end. 1k value, even though it was like constantly being charged. The Malagor got 1100 value, so pretty low. But granted, he died. Yeah, so I would say from Pugnington's perspective, the having taking so much damage before you charge probably hurt him a little bit. But I still liked that he kept pressure on this second point. And if anything, I think even with the way that he played at the beginning and taking that little bit of damage, had he just kind of moved those things over and kept the point 2 until the triple cap scenario, High Elves are not really a faction that want to be fighting all the way on your opponent's back point, especially fighting a much more mobile force. So I think keeping this is the correct idea. And even when at the beginning, he identified that he like pulled the troops back that were vanguarding onto this force, maybe you just keep that pressure, because then you're fighting even longer away from the start. But yeah, Stingers with really good play. Let's see how the Lothern did. Lothern they all did great. Really kind of countering these Centaurs and the chaff. Spearmen did Spearman things, which is not to say a lot, but and then the Reaver Archers were the MVPs. These might be 2 summons, but even still, I liked the Archmage with the Spirit Leech spell because nobody expects that, and it's usually pretty good into the Beastmen. The Phoenix was okay, but I guess it was a terror source. That was its biggest advantage. I think it has fair terror. The Storm Rider, yeah, all of the Lothern did excellently. Even Puggington's secondary, I think if he had brought a little bit less Centaurs, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what the correct plan was, because you're gonna get shot no matter what. Maybe this map is not a good map for him. Maybe so that there were 3 maps in the pool. One map was the Edge of the Darkwood, Celestial Lake, or sorry, Arachnarok Lair. Maybe Arachnarok Lair was a better ban, but playing on this map forced the fight to be in the center. All right, let's see. Hold up. Let's see if we have another game to cast. And Reginald Puggington with a great spirit in defeat. Very honorable player. Let's see. Not having the Zinj DLC didn't help. Yeah, Puggington, I'm sure. Zangors would have been nice. Zangors with their silver shield. They do okay in the Spearmen. They break the front line. But the silver shields are nice. Let's see. I jokingly said that I'd play vampire counts against uh, Plague Penguin. Uh, it looks like the vampire counts player has not made it. So let me check the bracket and see where things are at. So Rusto and Tomb Kings are done. Yeah, Puggington, I agree. The paying full price for 2 units is unfortunate. I'm kind of in a similar boat that like Skaven aren't really my like I barely ever play Skaven. Funny enough, I would have given you Skaven and taken Beastmen because I've been playing Beastmen much more than Skaven recently. But uh, yeah, let's see who's the next opponent for Stingers. The Stingers might be our next game. So it looks like the games that are still ongoing. High Elves versus Beastmen. Okay, so this was round 2. Next round is the quarterfinals. Looks like, unfortunately, all of our friends might have lost. Let's see if Rusto is still going. Rusto won his first game. Score reporting. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Rusto lost too. Let's actually do this for a second. We're gonna, there's a slight chance that we play Counts versus Bretonia. So the 3 maps are, okay. In that case, let's actually just do this. I'm gonna make a build like super quickly just in case, but there's a good chance that that game like doesn't occur, that I don't play it, but just in case, I'll make an army. Why not? And then let's say that the main army, I'm making Vlad. Heck yeah. I actually have a bill that I can use. Curse of the Undeath. Okay. And then oh, my vampire count's friend is back. Scrambled egg has made it. So maybe this was a hope and a prayer. Let's just save what I've built so far and then VC Brett Faction War. Let me take down the blocker and try to jump in that game. Let's see, Penguin, Spectate. I put the blockers up when I bring it. So, Ogres in Norsca, Vampires versus Bretonia. Let's finish the... I'm gonna finish my build real quick because why not? If he's still having some issues. And then Throne of Blood Knight. Definitely Cryptors. Then I would say maybe one bat. And let's actually drop them or just... That's good enough. But yeah, let's spectate here. Penguin does not have a spectate slot. All right, so just kind of waiting to figure out what's going on. Gonna take a quick second. We can check who else is streaming if while we're waiting for this to resolve. See if Outer Regions game is still going on. Outer Region is advanced. Outer Region is still waiting. Versus Chimbambu. So Chimbambu's done pretty well this tournament. Let's see if Maverick Sloth is casting anybody. Maverick Sloth is waiting with Penguin. Turin is apparently in that. And Maverick Sloth. Okay. Oh wait, no, Turin is in that game. Let's see if anybody else is up. Anticity, maybe? Did Anticity lose? Anticity just played Tim the Wilder. Looks like a close game. I don't think there's... Let's check the bracket. There might not be anybody left. Okay, back in Stinger's lobby. We'll watch a little bit of the Anticity game while we're waiting. This is an interesting matchup. So let's just throw it back on. Gotta figure out which one it is. Okay. Is it still working? Yep. So Warriors of Chaos versus High Elves. Wow, look at those Arrows of Kurnos. I really wish they nerfed the Arrows of Kurnos. It's such an unfun ability because it's got like 400 range. It's like the range of an artillery piece or more. You get 3 uses. Yeah, Tim was playing very conservatively on this. And Chisu's build has some aspiring champs in it, I guess, just to like for the silver shields and the archers. Stingers is getting his opponent still. We can turn on the volume a little bit. And Tizu is such an interesting style of like bouncing around. Fast forward through this a little bit. Him doing like a classic build up basically. Quite honestly, the Anticity took a ton of damage on the way in. Starting at pretty big a disadvantage. This is like the thing against playing range factions. It's hard to half-heartedly do them. And Tim like kind of forced the issue of taking a lot of damage with the Waystalkers. Not Waystalkers, whatever they're called. Still no news from Solasora. I'm just like desperately asking people in the channel for a second chance. All right, let's fast forward through this a little bit. It's just like an utter mess. Summoning more cav when your opponent is summoning like only elite infantry seems like a very strange choice to me. All right, let's just go through this a little bit faster. This is a big burning head. He's lost all of the points. He has no points, and he's down in value. I've played this matchup, and I guess I've considered it like basically unwinnable for Walk now. The fact that Antisti is like even staying in there at all. All right, Solasora is back. Okay. We have this game is over. I don't see how Antisti wins this. He has like practically no units left. I feel like yeah, Tim just needs to remember how to summon archers and he'll win. So you might watch this video and think, oh wow, Tim is so good. But he's playing probably the best faction in the game right now. And Tiff's actually done a good job getting the value back, surprisingly. Actually, there is a slight chance that he wins this. He takes the lord down. There's a big burning head. He has very little time to capture the second point. Oh, he has no points. He has to capture both the points. Can he do it? Find out this episode. Stinger says somebody joined this lobby, so I'll be catching that game in a second. Yeah, now he needs a triple cap. He's not gonna be able to do it, I don't think. It's just he's got like the right plan. He's definitely playing well for somebody so far behind. There's actually a chance that he does this. He's got the right units coming in too. If Entity pulls this off, he is the GOAT. This game was absolutely lost. That one cav unit threatening the back point is so difficult for Entity to deal with at this point in the game. It is capturing it pretty slowly, but eventually he'll have to deal with it. There's a chance. There's a chance. Wow. This is amazing. And this is doing a great job. And he's way up in value, so but you know Antisti is a really strong player. When he unsummons his lord, or what the artillery piece, just to get more cap weight. That's something that I see players not do all the time. But it looks like he's winning this. Quite honestly, this is incredible. Like, this is Tim the Wilder, who plays, you know, is like one of the best players. And to see has scrapped this back so far. He also like maintained his WOM, like carefully portioned out his WOM. Yeah, and just he's won this. That's crazy. All right, we don't need to see the rest of this. He doesn't need he doesn't need two anymore. That's incredible. Anticity was hard losing at the beginning, and then like a series of once the archers died, he summoned a series of good units, got great magic. That was incredible. The artillery, the late game artillery summon, that's another thing. Like, that's another thing that's really hard to do. Yeah, that's really impressive. If you ever wonder if Anticity is a top tier player, Anticity is a top tier player. That's incredible. That's incredible. All right. Let's switch the stream back to our game. They were still picking armies, so taking a second. Yeah, that's really impressive. Hey, Kaunashi. Yeah, I played Skaven. Unfortunately, couldn't pull it out. I might play a tournament after this. If there's a tournament that's going on. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if there'll be a tournament after this. No tournaments today. I'll have to yeah, he can watch the replay. Yeah, I think my plan was good in the first game. I didn't execute it right. My pre-tournament prep is no good. Make sure that we're streaming this one. High Elves versus Demon of Chaos is another good matchup for relatively good for High Elves, depending on the map. All right. Road to Talipine. I think this is a good map for Stingers. Of the three, there weren't the best of maps choices, but I think this is a good one. Yeah, I like the Nurgle units for playing this. Well, Solosaur with the early game pressure. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm interested to see how it turns out. It's a strange choice. So we got healing. The idea of this build is to heal on the Blood Crusher. Skull Crusher? I think it's a Blood Crusher. Oh, Lariel is an interesting take. I wonder if that means there'll be Dragon Princes coming out soon. For the healing. And the Poke Chariots. Uh-oh. Desync. Was it the wrong road to Talabheim? So at desync on this map, Talabheim, I feel like Talabheim has been having some issues recently. Let's see if they can get back in it. Wow, Anticity's game is so great. That was a really good one to watch. I'll probably have to go back and watch that one again slower. But yeah, I really like the choice of summoning the Hell Cannon. It's a hard thing to do in the middle game when you're down points, but I think it killed a lot of the opponent's expensive AP troops that he really needed. And Turin is streaming right now. He's doing the vampire, but they're playing on the wrong map. I don't know why they're playing on. Oh, they it must have been an accidental map. And we're trying again. Let's see if there's another desync. If there's a second desync, I'll probably drop from this to not potentially be the source of the problem. Here, let me exit out of this, exit out of this. All right. Okay, Grand Vomitus. You didn't even bring the heal. Oh, interesting. I thought the whole idea of this was to heal the Blood Crushers. Okay, so an anti-infantry character, really high HP pool, just Mark of Nurgle and spam. Curse of the Leper. Some reds. I'll call them reds, blues, couple blues, couple little greens, a fiend. Alariel with the star. Star, no, Arcane Unforgiving again. Earthblood, no Star of Avalorn. Interesting. I wonder why Lariel then. Maybe she's just cheap. The Tiranoc chariots, I've never really seen people use these. They do have magic missiles, but they're still missile chariots, and most missile chariots are not good. I mean, maybe they can hit fiends, but they're going to be slow. Fiends have 95, they have 84. I'm kind of an archer box again. I've seen people use this as like a surprise piece as Demons of Chaos because people forget that demons can bring armored things. But I'll be really interested to see how this unit works because in my opinion it's not the best unit. Out of the gate, Stingers is going to get 1 point. Maybe 2 points. Brings the chariots to the middle. Skirm Cav to the outside. Vomitus with Stream of Corruption and Curse of the Leopard. I mean, I guess if you... like, it could be used against the chariots. If you, like, had a Plague Bearer and your chariot charges into a Plague Bearer or, like, a Bloodletter and then you drop the Curse of the Leopard. I guess the armor is helpful. Let's see, is it worth overcasting? That's a question. It gives extra armor, so that is nice. You get like 60 armor. It's a little expensive relative to like the Glittering Robes, which does a similar thing. And another chariot. Wow. Going into the... I mean, this is a little risky. Interesting. A little bit of baiting, but he does get the point. So like I was saying, getting the 2 points at the beginning is pretty important. Look how much damage that chariot took. From just the blues? Blues got 71 value. Vomitus got 200, so I guess most of that's Vomitus. Earthblood goes down on it, I think. Interesting, interesting. The Talons of Torquelada did a lot of damage to that Nurgling. Nurglings are not the units you need to be shooting. I think it's fine to kill anything that you have access to, but in terms of the priority... Oh, go get that chariot charge over here. Yeah, there he goes.
One of your units
But it is
has
very
been
low priority.
destroyed.
Fiends extending. They have slightly slower speed, but with the charge bonus they'll go very fast. But then archers turn and shoot and they'll take a lot of damage. Interesting that the horse archers didn't shoot very much there. Vomitus has a heal. I can't remember if he has a heal. It might be an item. No, but he does have fire weakness. Oh no, that's from getting hit by a Torquelada. And casting the Arcane Unforgiving on him. I mean, it makes sense if he doesn't have a heal. So let's see how much damage that did. So it is more than 2k, or 1k. I mean, that's a lot of damage on your ward. They'll definitely have to like add up over time. Landing in front of the archers seems questionable. Now the ROR there has come out. Stinger's having a hard time microing everything at once. Having to pick archer targets. And Stingers has floating a lot of supplies. Are we getting the ROR this time? Shooting the armored cav. Now here's the Fireborn. Okay, so Fireborn should trade well into all of these if they get good fights, but they won't necessarily always get fights. Also, maybe you're just shooting point blank here, but Stinger's micro is probably so taxed. 1 unit of Fiends is going down. And then over here, Blue's pushing back Spearmen, taking good shots. Looks like some of that was shooting into the back. The flank here, overloaded. The flank here, not as much, but now the bloodletters are getting in. And the play here in the back, I think you just charge these in, right? You don't need to avoid the fight. Even with the fiends there, you probably still win. Casting all your Earthbloods here, but do you Earthblood or do you keep trying to whittle down Vomitus? Now we have some Illyrian Reavers just to stem the bleeding, but fiends are very happy to munch on Reavers. Yeah, now you need to cast an Earthblood here. Unfortunately, some of that WOM on the Lord will be misplaced. I think if you want to do that approach, you need to stall out the fight. There's an Earthblood. Funny enough, a Star of Averlorn would be really nice here. But the Herald of Blood Fury is now, Corn's Fury is now almost dead. Vomitus finding his way to Lariel. And now Stingers is pretty stuffed back. One of the points, the one point that he is holding is now kind of falling apart. Curse of the Leper, giving the extra armor and melee reflection. So each time that they do a bit of damage, you'll see a little bit of damage being returned. This is definitely an important unit to keep alive, especially with more models. So casting all your magic now and Earthbloods, yeah, just like that. Super important. Curse the Leper is worn off. This is a messy fight, I will say. But, yeah, I mean, most of the range units are compromised. And once things start to clear up, I'm kind of feeling that High Elves are looking like they're in a little bit of danger. Granted, having the Fireborn still online is a pretty big deal, because it's going to be hard for Solasora to find a unit that can still deal with them. And if you can keep the Fireborn alive for a little bit longer, you can keep healing it, right? The Fiends don't want to be taking this fight. So it's like I was saying, that now the Fireborn are pretty large threat to everything that's left. And probably all of the rest of the magic is still going to go down on the Fireborn. Fireborn will do a lot of damage. Yeah, so there's another Earthblood. Will do a lot of damage to Fleshhounds. But now the question is, how are the point situation? Because it's going to quickly become a points game. Very little infantry left for... We have a unit of archers shooting from the back. Very little infantry left for the High Elves. But we do have a lot of cav that could nicely deal with it. And besides these two units, most of the remaining units from the Demons of Chaos, the cav or the infantry, are not good quality. We do get one decent quality infantry unit coming in, but I have a hard time seeing how Stingers is going to get back on points. The Chariots will grind nicely with the chaff, but the Fireborn, like, if he loses the Fireborn, it's probably going to be pretty tough to replace. And now that the Fleshhounds are coming out, I think you need Dragon Princes, like either regular Dragon Princes or the Fireborn, to deal with the Fleshhounds. And they'll do a lot of damage, but you only have so limit, and they're pretty costly. War Lions are an interesting take against Fleshhounds. They're fairly similar in terms of melee stats. We might see the charge here. We eat a little charge there. Have a little bit of an archer concave. It's not like the time is so loose that Stingers doesn't have a chance to make use of his the chariots or the archers, but it's not a lot of time left. Alariel is getting kind of bullied now by the Lord. Nearly dead Furies with 1k value. This little blob here is tough for Stingers to deal with. And just summoning more archers in the back. The thing about the archers, like especially the Lothern, is that they're not going to easily kill Plague Bearers or Bloodletters. So it's going to take a long time, because you want to shoot from a distance. So yeah, they might kill this pocket of dogs. But how are you going to kill, like, even 2 Bloodletters? Not to mention Bloodletter plus a Plague Bearer with just Lothern Seaguard. You're going to struggle a lot. So, yeah. I mean, I was wrong once today about who was going to win in the Antiquity game. That hurts. Interestingly, I feel like Alariel bringing the Earthblood and not the Star of Averlorn really hurt her here. Really hurt Stingers. Because I think either you all in with the magic so that you for sure will kill Grand Vomitus, or you devote it for healing or expensive things. But I guess he didn't necessarily know that, like, you weren't necessarily able to tell that your opponent was going to bring the Herald of Khorne's Fury. So yeah, and now it's just a full stuff. Everyone is just pushing in. So that was a good game. Looking at the value, so 3,000 for Vomitus. That's pretty insane. Yeah, I have a hard time even knowing how he got that much value, honestly. But maybe he just like charged into the Fireborn and was just chunking off models with his like super high melee, super high weapon strength. And then look at that. Herald of Khorne. I was like so confused with this unit. And it did 1,900. Or like honestly, I don't even know how that happened. I'm gonna watch that back real quick. Let's see. Yeah, the Star of Averlorn, it must have just been like, it was too expensive. Well, that in hindsight is 2020, right? So like, if you're going to bring the Fireborn, sure, you want to bring Star of Averlorn. But you might not have ever expected to summon it. Also, I kind of liked the Chariots. Maybe 2 of them was too much. Like, his build didn't really have enough to deal with both infantry spam and... Alright, so me watching this replay, I just want to watch how Solasora used these 2 units. Okay, so whatever, this is... Yeah, this did a lot of damage on the charge. So huge charge bonus. Oh, sorry. Not that huge charge bonus. Not that huge weapon strength. So how in the world did he get 3k this entire game? I have to watch that.
One of your units has been...
Alright. So... has all of the points. Making a bit of a concave. Archers are kind of tucked in the middle. First Arcane Unforgiving goes down. This Chariot summon was definitely not correct, but again, hindsight is 2020. Okay, so this is how these 2 units got a lot of value. Just a miss of the Chariot there. A little bit of a micro mistake. The Fiends charged through. I guess they had a charge on the Chariots and they got stuck in spears. So that's why this unit died. Archers are shooting the Khorne's Fury a lot, but they have super high armor, so I don't know if that's something that he didn't know about, or... I guess Vomitus has really good attack animations into the infantry. Maybe that's part of why he got so much damage done. The Bloodletters are going to become a problem. But okay, so as Solosora, what we've done is, I guess, a bit of a flank overload here, kind of intercepting here, finding holes through the middle. And I guess, honestly, like, this unit probably trades up, Plaguebearer trades up in the Spearmen, Bloodletters trade up into the Spearmen. Honestly, I think Stinger's biggest mistake here was like letting himself kind of be bullied off the points and maybe taking a position that's too far forward. But the thing is that 2 Reaver Archers, 2 Chariots, we're not even going to count the 3rd Chariot, 2 Chariots that need to poke. These units are going to take a long time to like pay for themselves. Although I said that, they're actually doing pretty well. I guess nothing is that good at killing this unit. Weakness to fire damage, decrease the melee. It's got 18 bonus versus infantry with 55. Does it have the... Doesn't have like the overcharge thing. But it does pretty quickly kill the... Maybe this is the tech that Solosora is doing. A Fiend to lower the melee defense. And then extra armor. I guess that makes sense to me. So Solosora charges into the Fireborn with the Herald of Bloods, whatever. Honestly, I think what's happening here in terms of the micro is that Stinger's micro is being stressed over here, and this like intense pressure on the right flank. So this is a little bit of a flank overload, right? You pin down the infantry here, and then you go around with like your mobile units, and so like basically busting open the formation. But you lose in the front as High Elves with like the current composition. See the Bloodletters trading very well with Spearmen, and then you're losing in the back too. So I mean, it might just be like a little bit getting outbuilt. But then the aggression is nice because the points will flip quickly. So even if you don't super win. But also melee defense. Let's look at the melee defense blob. So this unit is taking the Soporific Musk and the Mantle of Immolation. So minus 15 in combination. So it does take a lot of extra debuffs. So I guess that's kind of the idea of stacking the Fiends and the Heralds. And a Horn of Corn help them pay up. So, and then this blob definitely favors the demons, so they push through the front. So yeah, I would say maybe the build was strong for Solosora, but I liked the flank overload. That seemed particularly nice. Nurglings are just there to take value, and the blues actually seem to do pretty well too. And these didn't trade that well. So yeah, really interesting game. We'll have to tell GG to let's see, GG to Stingers. And yeah, I think that's it for me. So we'll go over to the Turin. Let me just put up the bracket real quick. Let's see. Put this on. Yep. Okay, that worked. Unfortunately, we took the L in the first round. Is what it is. Vampire Counts won the second one. Vampire Counts probably playing out of region right now. We can just look at that real quick. See that game going on. Okay. Yep. They're in the middle playing that one. And looking back at the bracket, Demons of Chaos are going to be playing Norsica in the semis. And one of these two is going to be playing Anticity in the semis. So all of the games have been resolved now. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry to disappoint any of the rat people looking for more action, but you know, there's always next time. So